Hey, it's Fountain here today, and I'm going to talk about earthing, or sometimes it's referred to as grounding. Now, it's a very simple and usually free practice that many people can use in many situations, obviously, to calm oneself. And it's very basic in the fact that you literally just take your shoes and your socks off and then you walk bare feet on the earth. Now, obviously, I would never recommend this if you were on the ocean, like in a boat, or you're in the snow, or you're in the desert. Obviously, those environments are not always the best to be standing bare feet on the ground, and obviously in the ocean it's not always necessarily possible. Anyway, I digress. So besides those sort of scenarios, you are usually going to find some place in the earth in which you can do this. Now, the reason I'm mentioning it is often we don't usually walk around bare feet outside, depending on obviously the culture and the nation in which you reside in. And as I'm sure you're all aware, all of our ancestors at some point used to walk the earth without shoes on. And obviously over time, shoes have been introduced into our lives for various different reasons, none of which I necessarily need to go into in this vlog. However, because of that, that's also meant that we have lost a little bit of our connection with nature and I guess the earth. And I'm sure all of you are aware that it is important to stay connected to the earth, in which we obviously reside on, for many various reasons. And I would like to go through some of those reasons. Obviously, it can have some physical benefits. If you have like particular physical ailments or disease, illness, that could be counterintuitive. However, obviously, I can't say in what situations in particular it could be. Obviously, if you have some physical condition, then I would recommend you speak to your doctor about whether you think earthing or grounding is going to be detrimental to your health. Not that doctors know absolutely everything about health, but anyway, I digress. So the physical benefits of grounding, earthing, is obviously it can reduce pain within the body. It can also help with better sleep and also better blood flow. Now, with grounding and earthing, other than you obviously having, no sort of physical illness or disease, and you're in an environment in which is not snow, desert, and ocean, then it's not really going to hurt you to try this out. The minimum time would probably be at least 30 minutes a day to really get the good benefits of that. Now, the mental benefits, probably the list could go on and on, but just to name a few, be things like anxiety, depression, and it's obviously got emotional benefits, so it can give you more balance in your emotions. Obviously, it can release stress. Another sort of physical benefit is that some say it can help with your immunity as well. Depending on which society and nation which you reside on, you may find that we're often recommended to be as clean as possible from any kind of nature, like always washing your hands and just showering and all of that sort of stuff. And I'm not disregarding that as having any kind of benefit. Just sometimes being too clean and as such can really actually be detrimental to your immunity, because obviously you're not exposing yourself to things in nature which can actually help build, I guess, a barrier or a little, I'll just say a little barrier to other diseases and things coming into your system. And now, when I've had a look at a lot of the scientific studies around earthing and grounding, I can't say that there's there hasn't been studies done with like thousands and thousands and thousands of people. There's definitely been studies that have been conducted. If you're a scientist yourself, I'd highly recommend, and maybe you want to do a study around this. I think that would be great. I know that's not just as simple as going out and doing a study on something. However, if it encourages someone to go out and do a study on this. I think that's awesome. So a lot of the studies will sort of talk about these electrons that run through our bodies, right? And the earth has kind of particular, I don't know, the way the electrons of the earth interact with our human bodies, it can kind of balance ourselves, like us, and especially because some of the electrons and energies that are running through our body are not always serving us for our best interests, especially those sort of man-made electronic devices, you know, that are carrying things like radiation and stuff. So when we're obviously in around environments like cities and other places that are highly popular with a lot of technology around us, it cannot always be very good for our health. So earthing can kind of counterbalance some of that exposure that we have with that sort of technology, and I guess just really ground us and bring us back to centre. And obviously lastly, depending on your belief system, you know, some of you might be religious, some of you might just completely disregard life as having any meaning at all, and that's absolutely okay. You're all allowed to believe in what you want to, but obviously earthing and grounding can have quite a lot of spiritual benefits as well. And just to sort of note those, I guess, you know, the main ones would be like connecting with your ancestors, connecting with certain spirits, connecting with your own higher self, connecting with past lives, connecting with particular spirits within nature. So yeah, it has a very long list of spiritual benefits, and that's probably why you often hear about earthing and grounding in a lot of like wellness kind of communities, kind of hippie communities, kind of environmental communities, that kind of thing. And the way I see it is, as long as you don't have a physical illness, as long as you don't live in the desert or the ocean or in the snow, it's not really going to do you much harm to get out and walk around in a safe space without your shoes and your socks on. 30 minutes a day is ideal, obviously, and you know, if you, as long as you don't have to drive really far to find a piece of grass to stand on, it's not really going to cost you much either. So highly recommend it. Obviously, as long as you don't have yourself in those situations that I listed before. I'm not a medical practitioner. I'm not going to say it's going to cure everything, but it may assist in a lot of obviously physical, mental, emotional and spiritual ailments that you could be experiencing, and especially if you live in a concrete jungle like a city. So that's it on the Earthing and Grounding blog. If you've got a lot of experience with this, please leave your feedback, your comments in the comment section down below. If you're new, you're welcome to ask questions. And I'm also on a number of various social media platforms as well, and they are listed in the description box down below. And I will see you in the next vlog. Bye.